Hello, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek cast number 75. Wake me up when September begins. I titled it that way because of my upcoming HackerCon list. The only one I have firmly scheduled as of right now is GoodCon in September, which I'll go ahead and list the cons I have upcoming in the schedule. GoodCon 2017 is September 6th and 7th. Then I got DerbyCon October 3rd through 7th. And then those get more tentative. Some things are kind of in flux right now. We'll check out and see if they work out. Besides Raleigh, October 19th, 2018. Wild Wild Hack Fest, October 25th, 2018 from October 26th, 2018. InfoWarCon, November 1 through 3rd. Secure West Virginia, which is November 3rd through December 2nd. 30th through December 2nd. And B-Sides Nova. Oh, that goes to 2019. I'll stop. There's one time I really want to make is B-Sides Philadelphia, but last I checked, it didn't have firm dates yet. Besides that, we still have Ricky's survey out there. 3 months to fill it out. He's the only one who has access to it.
Yeah, I got to give him a shout about that just to see if anybody else can get access to it, or if he's taking a look at it and see if it's grown or what the possible feedback is on that.
Yeah, and y'all, when's y'all's cast going to start up?
Quick update on that. I've been so tied up with work. I plan on doing it next week, and let's, I guess, start after the 4th, realistically, because I know I have to travel out of the state next week. I didn't realize July 4th was next week. Jesus Christ! Everything is just going. It's just going so quickly, So it will be after the 4th of July.
What better way to blow $30 than $30 of fireworks?
I know, right? I know, right?
I'm gonna have to find if I can get some fireworks, and no, that's a lost cause. I was gonna see if I could get fireworks in the Netherlands.
Yeah, and
they can't have any fun in Europe.
So about conferences, I have my schedule set up for the next few months.
Okay, what is it? What's your schedule?
Hope, Hacker Summer Camp, and then a 75% chance of 44Con.
Nice. Oh, wow. Okay, nice. Nice setup. The next item for me is DerbyCon. I'm not doing DEF CON or Black Hat this year.
So I got to ask, is anyone familiar with the 44Con in here?
Not really. I've heard the name.
Not really. I've heard of it.
Really? I know a 44 Magnum.
44Con is London.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Why is it 44?
Yeah. Is that like the name of a street or a warehouse? I don't know. Well, let us know how it is, man. That'll be cool stuff,
Yeah, I actually.
Actually, wait a second. 44Con, because the telephone code for UK is 44.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got you.
I hope
I know how to have some type of significance.
That's why that girl's number had that. Okay.
It's okay. I'll probably be dealing with a lot of girls with that number soon as well.
You just thought it was a girl.
I've never been to Hope, but I always get the impression that Hope is very political. And
it is.
Oh my God!
I have a friend who is giving a talk to Will, and a whole bunch of people giving him shit because in his talk description or bio, he says something like "likely to have your nudes," and he's going shit on him, and it's like, "Oh, stop your fucking whining."
Oh my God! It went crazy. I think this was yesterday or the day before. And the social justice warriors were out in full effect. Even the one that was mentioned in Derby the last time.
People need to grow the fuck up.
Like, people just need to relax. They're doing too much. It's too much.
I actually have a couple cons that I might be going to this year. Like, very low chance that I'll get to DerbyCon, but I just need to get a ticket, and then I can figure out the rest. And then probably going to Cybersecurity Summit in Minneapolis. So
Okay.
and that's in October. That's the end of October. So I'll have so it would be DerbyCon and then another week and something and then Cybersecurity Summit in Minneapolis, which is more blue team but still a good con to go to.
Gotcha.
That reminds me, one other con.
What's that?
Provided 44 con pans out, which is dependent on something else, there is a very high probability I'll hit 35C3.
You're on tour this year, man. I love it.
This is the Revenge of Alley Ghost.
Ooh, okay, I like it.
I'm making that right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. You know, the Revenge of Howie.
I cannot comment yet on what's going on in the next few months, but I can say that there is something planned for shortly after DEF CON, provided certain paperwork goes through.
Okay.
Dope.
London calling.
With no punch at the end of it.
Exactly. So,
Seriously, though.
Without further ado, this is a perfect segue. Let's get into some of these show notes, guys.
All right.
Let's start off with the hubbub. Since we talk about a dope, let's get into some of the hubbub of why women don't code.
All right. First thing up, I don't know if anybody else actually read this article. A guy by the name of Stuart Regis, he's apparently a computer science professor at a university, was talking about things about why women don't seem to actually be as interested in coding. Not that they don't have the aptitude. He didn't say anything about aptitude, sorry. But like in general, they have the interest. Like the ones that have the high math scores also sometimes have the high verbal scores. There's other things they can go into instead, and that sometimes also I'm trying to remember all the details he covered. I read the entire article, but basically it was pretty tame shit, and it basically came down to men and women in general, not every individual, in general, have different interests, and that would explain, and there's only so far we can actually go at getting close to 50% as far as gender representation in tech.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if someone else can get better synopsis of the article, let me know. I read the entire article, but to me, it was so tame, nothing really stood out to me. A little bit of defense of James Damore, a little bit of just common sense things that men and women are a little different in interest, and a few graphs that basically show that when there's a lot more people enrolling in DS programs.
Yeah.
Well, there's more men also enrolling, but it's always more men than women, and it ebbs and flows. But the grand total is just always going to be more men, and that we shouldn't necessarily automatically attribute to sexism just because the ratio isn't 50-50.
Right. And just and like we've been saying before, I mean, it just depends on people's interests. It just so happens. I mean, and I know this sounds crazy, but you know, there's more women in high heels than men these days. I mean, men are just not interested in hopping in high heels. I mean, there's some are, but there's not all of us.
Well, I bet there's like more women going into education.
Yeah.
Even more women going into medical fields at this point.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, I mean, there's, like I said, there are women that are interested in it, and there's just some that just not. And I mean, it's not binary. It's 0 and 1, you know?
Yeah, traditionally, women's role is the more nurturing professions. So traditionally, we do more teaching. We do more, general care services like nursing and, that nitty gritty, the stuff that guys don't like to do. I can tell you, I haven't met any guys that enjoy mopping up shit and puke. So, I mean, that we tend to take some of the more motherly tasks. Okay. And that's just kind of how it goes.
Tolerate it more than others, I think.
Not just motherly, but the old adage applies of women like to deal with people, men like to deal with things. In a broad sense. And so you see a lot of fields which are people oriented, like teaching, like psychology, like
Americans like to deal with explosives.
Well, yes, but that's beside the point. But various fields that deal with people exclusively versus, programming or cybersecurity or sysadmin, where you're dealing with a thing, a computer, an object,
I've worked retail and I've come to the conclusion that I fucking hate people.
Oh yeah.
So I'm more than happy for the most part to just kind of chill and code or stab things. Actually, no, correction. I like people, but I like people at an arm's distance because that's my introversion. Like, I'm okay talking to you guys over here on the computer, but I'm very I'm very awkward in person.
I think say the thing is the same people that say gender is not binary and everything's a spectrum. When you try to put something like this up, and then even in the article when they say this is an average, this is a generality. Not all men are like this, not all women are like that. Even when you say that, they still make it a straight binary. Like, you said women aren't good at STEM. No, what he said is most women aren't as interested in STEM as men are.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it is true. I mean, it's not that we can, and I'm one of the few that is. But you're also gonna if you look at our personalities, those of us that tend to be more interested in STEM, we tend to have that different type of introversion, where we're more the problem solvers. We're maybe a little more quiet. And it's not to say that we can't have fun, because the whole introvert extrovert thing, it's not that we can't, just that we need more time outs in order to recharge. And we get overwhelmed a lot easier. So, the quieter, thoughtful fields for us tend to be more entertaining. The stuff that takes a lot more philosophy and thinking is more interesting versus necessarily, some of the other. Although I bridge the gap in a lot of ways, because I did the EMS thing, and I did some of the other, stuff. And I enjoy teaching. It's just that wasn't the direction that I went to, because I really enjoy like playing around with networking, computers, and tech and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about this chart, though? If you don't look at the computer science portion of it as a derogatory and look at the medical school and the law school as a positive.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're choosing to go, women are choosing to go into medical professions, and there's a ton more female doctors now and a lot more female lawyers.
Well, and you also have to remember how technologically advanced the medical field is getting. Like, I took a new job at one of the companies up here that makes medical devices and stuff, and it's not seriously. I can't say too much, but the advancements are insane, and it's very often, when they're doing that stuff, especially the hands-on stuff, we have a probably majority female, workforce, just because it's the attention to detail stuff.
Yeah.
For things that are going into the human body. So
yeah,
I love it.
It's not just that, but it's also the medical fields, which are inherently more people focused, like psychology, for example. How many male psychiatrists and psychologists have you seen? Probably not many. I've met maybe
the only ones I can think of are male, because I only know of one. But then again, I can imagine my understanding psychology in general, the field is female dominated.
Oh, extremely. Like you go to like the graduate levels, it's like a 30-1 ratio. No joke.
Wait, psychology or psychiatry?
Psychology is female dominated. I'm not sure about psychiatry. Psychiatry, the only psychiatrist I know by name is Jordan B. Peterson. So
my psychiatrist, the person that has been treating me for the past 3 years, has books written by him and K. Jameson Redfield. So there's also that.
The highest level, doctorate level, and so forth, and actually practicing. I actually don't know which gender dominates that particular field.
I think a lot of it's going to depend upon like what their specialty is. If you're talking like, say, a GP versus someone who specializes in kinesiology, blah, or psychology versus neuroscience, it's going to be a lot different, because some fields deal with people more than others. Some fields are more research oriented. Some fields are more people oriented.
Yeah, it's. What I also find is kind of interesting, and we start to see in the chart. You start to see in around 85. You start to see women in computer science drifting away very rapidly, or like going down, decreasing very rapidly.
As percentage, but that doesn't make those less women total.
As a percent,
a lot more men entering also.
Yeah, as a percentage.
Post-war games, there's a lot more men that started taking interest. The boys that started taking interest in computers. Also, I think some people attribute the marketing of video game systems and so forth for boys increasing their interest.
That's where I was going towards. I recently saw an article about how games were marketed, and it all comes down to Nintendo when they were releasing the home console, or the NES or Super Nintendo, whichever one, and they put it in the toys aisle, in the boys section specifically. And another thing that was interesting was it was right at 1985 or like somewhere in the mid 80s where they started to do this, and at the time you actually had a larger amount of women at independent development companies or game developers and big name developers than you did men. And then when that started, you started to see less and less people coming in, because then those people would retire. You'd see more men going into it because, hey, guys play video games.
You do?
I have a question.
Hey, sorry.
Hey.
Yep.
I have a question. So, and I'm ugly, so we're not going to do this. Go away. There we go. So, was that a bottle of cherry wine? Yes, it was. It was good. So, anyway, my question, though, is how are they quantifying computer science? Because remember, terminology has changed in tech, and we've become sub-compartmentalized. So, is there actually less, or have we just become so compartmentalized that they're not taking into consideration the overall number from what computer science was in 1986 versus what it started to break into post that? Because remember, it used to be everything was what it was. Informatics is what IU calls it. Everything was informatics. And then informatics broke down into programming science and big data and information security. And we got compartmentalized. So are they... what is our base number value, and are they taking into consideration the variety of topics and titles now that we sub-split all of our stuff into?
That's also my question here too. Like, I do web dev, ML, and AI, and like that's not generally. I do web dev.
Yeah, they put us in communications, or they stick us in art now, when at the time there was no definition for what we do, visual effects wise. That was all under informatics, and now it's been split out. So is any of that taken into consideration?
Yeah.
I do not know, and sadly there isn't a link that I can follow to this study.
Yes, I wonder if that might be part of the reason there appears to be a drop, is because, like I said, we've been recompartmentalized. So the numbers are going to be skewed.
And if you're talking web dev, then it's obviously going to be in the foreign language department.
Yeah, something like that. But it's true.
I'm a linguist.
Does anybody actually read this article? I read it, but did anybody else read the article completely?
I skimmed it. I didn't read the whole thing.
I skimmed it as well.
It's pretty non-offensive, and it's basically saying is men and women have different priorities and different skill sets in general. Not every individual, you can't say universally men are better than women at this particular thing, or women are better than men at this certain thing. But in general, women have less of an interest in the field than men do. But egads, this freaks someone else the hell out. Does anybody else know this particular job? Is my screen sharing? Yes. Present to everyone.
Well, where are you?
Oh God.
This person, Sarah Mee. She's went off.
I'll start.
Oh my God! Yeah, I've seen.
She starts whacking about the offer claims rationality. She never gave a rational argument in the entire thing. Here's the closest she came to an actual argument. And how's this rational? Your opinions are invalid. They're based on privilege and false reasoning.
Can I read it in a woman's voice? Because it's going to be better.
You read it.
Yes, Labs. Your opinions are invalid. They're based on privilege and faulty reasoning. What you need to do right now is remove your opinions from view, quit teaching, listen to other people without talking, and get the fuck out from this industry until you figure it out. Yeah, I think that's somewhere along those lines.
It keeps going on, and the article is just so milquetoast teacher.
Oh my god.
No, sounds like someone needs to take some of her own medicine at that. It's like, dude, no. We need more discourse. We need more discourse like this where we're actually talking.
And actually, this is one of the same women who apparently
She's sick of the white dudes.
Wait, what? Where is that?
What?
She's so sick of these white dudes.
Start dating black dudes then.
I know, right?
Apparently, this is one of the same ladies who was harassing Marlene a while back.
I don't.
I'm not surprised.
Adrian, they have a fit at the junkyard.
I'm not surprised either.
We're having important conversations, sweetie.
And on top of that, she lives in San Francisco, so.
I actually had
That's profiling.
People reach out to me for learning to code and learning programming, and a lot of them were women. It's just I think it's not really a pipeline issue. I think it's more of just a culture issue at this point.
Even then, even the culture issue is keeping them from coming in. That's still a pipeline issue if they're not coming in.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of people want to do it on their free time. Like, that's why you have, the Twitch programmers. Like, I mean, we got, Kittens does Technical Tuesdays and stuff, and she does basic code review and things like that. And we have coders that'll be live streaming online. And then you have your Khan Academy tutorials. I mean, so much of that stuff, you want to be self-taught. You're not officially going into a college, so if they're basing their numbers off of universities, there's so much stuff you can just find that you're not necessarily going that route. Mm-hmm. So that's something to think about too. Right. But and as far as women that aren't interested in stuff, I see plenty of the creative people and stuff in there. But there's most of the coders I know are other girls that are much better than I am.
Yeah,
I was going to say I've been doing this since I was 12.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sarah, Sarah says, your opinions are invalid, based on privilege and faulty reasoning. You read all that before. What you need to do right now is remove your opinions from view. Fuck that silencing bullshit. Quit teaching, listen to other people without talking, and get the fuck out of the industry until you figure out who is she to ban anything. I like Marlene's response to this. With all due respect, Stuart Regis' opinions are perfectly valid, and he should not stop teaching because you deem him unworthy and are bullying him the way that you and Railsbridge did me. So apparently Marlene's had interactions with people before. I don't know if you remember Marlene, but she's been interviewed a couple of times on this cast. And
yeah.
Frankly, it's this type of vitriol that's ruining the tech industry.
True.
Yeah, and I do like Evie's comment about it being a cultural thing, because in the States, there's not a whole lot of incentive for. Not incentive. I'm trying to think of a good word. The two words that came to mind were incentives and pressure to go into the technical field.
Impetus.
I don't know if those...
Impetus.
Okay, impetus. We'll go with that.
That's a big fancy word, Adrian. Can you give me a definition of it? Because I don't know if I know exactly. Because it sounds like impotent, and I don't think that's what you meant. Because us country bumpkins out here, we need to know these things.
And urging to do something.
Okay.
What?
So not the United States' culture doesn't have impetus for women to go into technical fields as much as what I've seen both in my university at or in the States and the university that I'm at now, currently in the Netherlands. A lot of the people that go into the technical fields, a lot of women that go into the technical fields actually are from different cultures as well. I don't know if these are the same things that, like, if you, like, for instance, if you saw in a list a bunch of if you were to be given the genders of my classes that I've taken and see a bunch of females in the list, most of them would be exchange students from either India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, basically all of the kind of Middle Eastern and East Asian kind of.
They're also the big call center countries where you get paid big bucks taking help desk jobs doing that.
Yeah. So
yeah. But that's what I mean is that's that there's more push for you to learn that because that's where the big money is because the U.S. keeps outsourcing all the good jobs.
Not just that, there's also H-1B visas and
yeah, I would say a call center job is a good job.
In those countries, though, it's not bad, and that's a lot of the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of an outlier here, but I'm also like the daughter of a fairly well-known engineer. And like there was no way I wasn't going into engineering.
Right.
Like there wasn't a question about it. It's just a matter of what kind at that point.
What kind?
Yeah. But I had also been exposed to like this sort of thing at a very, very early age.
Oh.
Hello.
And Simone making her weekly appearance on the podcast.
Yes. Say hey, baby.
I love you.
My future coder.
Simone.
Say hey.
Hi.
She actually said hey.
Oh, she's so cute.
My little future coder right here.
Right.
He's daddy made that one right.
Charles is gonna have the first baby hacker.
He should have baby hacker.
Yeah.
It's a race. I'm going to try to have Keith to be the first, so. Okay.
All right. Let the games begin. Right?
That's right.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
We need to fucking make more hackers.
Get to work, Ollie.
I agree.
Working on it.
You're looking at me in the wrong if you expect me to do anything about it.
Your picture is perfect. Your avatar is perfect for what you just said.
Hey, you know what? There's a reason why my wife had her tubes tied. Okay, there's a very good reason for that.
Speaking of making hackers, I had a really funny interaction with the management of the group that I helped run back in the States to train people in security and hacking at the university. Apparently, they put me as the primary contact, and I am not in the country.
Oh, wow.
So, randomly get on IRC one day and immediately get pinged by my former president of the thing. It's like, hey, you're alive. Yeah, I'm alive. You have like 20 different ways that you could have messaged me. Not IRC, but okay.
Like, I think that's the best one to get your attention.
It's like, Nate always is paying attention to IRC. Yeah, I pay attention to everything, dude.
You have to.
You guys don't want to know how many chat things I have up at one time, even like now.
Well, I can imagine.
Yeah, that's bad. I have a problem.
Nice.
Remember the one thing that sucks about IRC?
What?
When you disconnect, you don't see what's going on when you're disconnected.
I never disconnect.
Yeah, that's not always an option for me.
No.
I will never log off.
What I do with IRC, here's what I do just to avoid that. Like, I just SSH into another server that always stays up, and I just use Screen, so I'm never like off. That way I don't miss anything.
Yes, that's what you do.
Yeah. I know it's a little old school, but it gets the job done.
I mean, hey, it works.
Yeah. I still use A term from Next Step Terminal. That's the terminal I use.
I'm gonna look this up because I don't know what this is.
Oh, look up A term. Yep, that's the terminal I use in FreeBSD.
Israel just like.
This looks like shit.
This is not the. I'm gonna share my screen because this is not the right website.
Seriously?
This is not the right website.
No, that's not it.
that is it. That's what Charles
No.
Wait, yes.
I use Hyper, goddammit.
That's not the term I use.
Wait. Holy shit, though. There's like routers
emulator.
There's no. There's like routers and shit on this thing.
No.
That's what Charles uses. That right there.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, like
but there's such cute little Korean anime family.
Show us your JList profile next. Why don't you?
Oh,
God. So it's in what was it, Mandarin? Who can read this?
No, this is
JP. It's Japanese.
Is that Japanese?
This is Japanese.
All right.
Japanese, that's not JP.
Yeah,
Remember, they steal kanji all the time. So shush.
Here you go.
Yeah,
That's the after. It's the after step.
After step.
Hey. If you really want to know what terminal emulator I use, Hyper.
Hyper.
Yes. It is a Electron-based React-powered terminal.
Oh no.
Yes.
So much JS there. Why do you do this to me, Owie?
It was built by engineers.
Engineers, yeah.
I'm reading Facebook, Twitter friend's tweet that confuses the fuck out of me.
What?
Tweeting about politics and start tweeting about funny, carefree shit and InfoSec again, when Nazis are no longer an existential threat to my day-to-day life.
Does Peter mean to be sharing his screen right now?
Here. Yes, I am. Here, look at this.
Go and vote, and I can write tweets again. Write good tweets again. How the hell are Nazis in America a day-to-day threat to his existence? What the fuck is he talking about? That's like me saying that fucking Comrade Evie's version of communism is a threat to my day-to-day existence.
No, please.
Hey. Don't disrespect the luxury gay space communism.
Okay.
Luxury automated gay space communism.
Oh, you're transhumanism. Nice.
Yes.
Hey, look at this. Look at this.
I
Look at
have a
this.
feeling I will have a new follower after this.
Here, look at this. Upterm. It's literally a React and Electron-based terminal with autocomplete.
Let me see.
There's sometimes that I wonder why people do things, and then I realize, yeah, it was a why not situation.
Yeah.
Go to any random URL ending in .io. Yeah, there's a why not there.
Yeah.
Bitcard.io. Go check it out.
Why not?
It's the dumbest thing you will ever see on the internet. I'm dead.
Somebody please type that in for everyone else to enjoy.
What was it? Owie. Okay.
Good evening to you.
There, I just typed in chat. I hope I hope you guys are happy. This is the dumbest thing you will ever see. It is. It's an ICO. It's a multi-level marketing scheme, and it's it's time sharing with things that depreciate rapidly.
On cars.
Yes, that's what I meant by things that depreciate rapidly.
Just cause. Well, if people are gonna throw random money at that, they can start throwing random money at me for my beautiful little filtered creations. Because seriously, why?
Yeah, I know. I think once you guys realized what I was talking about with this, you were just sort of like, "Oh my god, why?"
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This is why someone with disposable income needs to just buy me a good Vive so I can start doing very important research into the world of virtual reality.
Oh, same here.
Exactly. It's a very important. It might actually be, because I was thinking about doing some medical stuff and trainings for firefighters. But in the meantime, I need to do important research.
In the meantime,
and Owie commenting in 3, 2, 1.
I might be able to link you to some people who can help you with that.
Owie?
Yes.
You're grounded.
All right, let's get into the breach report.
What's worse is I actually am serious. I probably could refer you to someone who could get you the hardware.
Oh, we know.
All right, guys, let's get into the breach report.
Let's do it.
Okay, we have
Into the
5 items on the report this week.
Oh.
First up is PDQ, fast food chain. Anybody ever heard of them?
I said I have.
Is it like Smashburger?
Very good.
No, I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, apparently they have a location in Tampa, or headquartered.
They're basically Smashburger for chicken tendies.
Okay. Are they mainly down in Florida then?
So that means they have palmetto bugs instead of Trevor's.
Oh, when I think of a roach, I think of a palmetto bug, but that's because I live in Florida. I live in this stupid hell swamp.
Yes, that means you have palmetto bugs instead of Trevor. So who wants to suck one of them up the straw so we can have a new mascot this year?
Heck yeah, we
Oh,
can.
God.
Okay.
Okay, so real quick on PDQ. They were popped between April 20th and May 19th. The breach includes names, credit card numbers, expiration dates, and CVVs. They speculate malware was inserted via third-party vendor.
Again with the vendors, man.
That was
wear your condoms.
That
always protect yourself.
Always protect.
Always make sure your partner has protection.
Don't be going sleeping around with third-party vendors, man.
No, because
you can't see it, but I would be linking FenicoLaugh.gif here. I don't believe for a second it was third party. I'm pretty sure it was someone inside.
It's always internal. No one wants to admit it.
Yeah.
And again, you can go back to my 14-year-long rant on Sony and the fucking Koreans. That no, fuck you. I've seen Sony's security firsthand. No.
What's interesting about this is we just with the vendor stuff, we talked about the it was the Navy. It was the Navy got some research it was a third party vendor that got popped that had a bunch of classified information in an unclassified network, so like an open network or not network that had Navy submarines and stuff like that on it.
Oh, it was better. It had pretty much the whole fucking shebang on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe this is a trend that we're going to see in the breach report now.
Possibly.
Could be.
Gonna have to make a section of breach report and then breach report vendor edition.
Dum.
Target.
Okay, next up, New Zealand's Z Energy. They flagged possible data breach. So this is a potential data breach because the database was found to be facing the internet essentially, but they don't 100% have confirmation that data was actually taken, but they are still required to report it. So
pretty much a cool looking vulnerability assessment.
Yes.
Okay.
That's public.
Yes.
Public vulnerability assessment. Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. For free. Yeah. So they did notify customers of the potential breach from November. Apparently happened back in November. They're now disclosing it. Compromised database included names, addresses, registration numbers, vehicle types, and credit limits. It did not include credit card data. So I'd never heard of Z Energy. So
me neither.
Maybe somebody out there who listens to the cast has, and hey, you should be getting a notice or have already gotten a notice.
Better than X Energy.
That's right.
Hopefully we got the notice. But I you know what? I'll give this company Z Energy credit. At least they're going out on the whim and say, hey, it's a possible breach. We just want to let everybody know up front, and we're on it.
I already closed it out, but I think I read in there that they're regulated and they had to.
Oh, so it's by force. Okay.
I believe it was.
Just
And
through it right now.
Next on the list is very similar to the previous. Med Associates suffered data breach. 270,000 records left exposed.
Exposed, not taken. What does that mean?
Exactly. They are still investigating. So, like I said, investigation is ongoing. They detected unusual activity on March 22nd on one of the PCs there in the office. And then the data that was so they did see an exorbitant amount of data being pulled down to this PC. They don't know whether or not it was exfiltrated or not. And that's where the investigation currently lies. But all it said was the data included personal patient data, which is who knows?
Okay, so I actually know a little bit of background in this because I was building a electronic health record for simulations in the university, and we had to simulate an actual electronic health record. Basically, patient information can be anything from your first name to almost your social security number.
Yes.
So anything that would be used in insurance, billing, all of that stuff, so that it has the potential to be inside of that.
And then, too, with healthcare, you're going to have emergency contacts. Stuff like that, too. So that could be somebody who's close to you, their telephone number, potentially their address.
Right.
Any other information
blood
on that.
types, all kinds of fun stuff. Which they're not yet disclosing. And I've never heard of this one. This next one, Flight Radar 24. You guys ever heard of that app?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
I do know. I do know this because my roommate uses.
Pick him up.
No, it's 2 a.m, and I was also not very quiet last night, so he's already.
Oh, you don't want to make it worse with this news.
Nah.
Yeah. Going with cymbals blaring. Hey, guess what?
Guess what? What flight tracking thing do you use, if any?
Yep.
No, say, hey, guess what? It's about to be a bumpy ride. A bumpy flight.
Yeesh. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so they were compromised. And the data that was gained from them was email addresses and hash passwords. So there was no mention whether the passes or the hashes were salted. But they did obtain hashes, so those can be taken back to clear text.
Do we know what? Yeah, hash. Yes. Do we know
what algorithm they're using?
Yeah.
I love that hash, man.
I knew you would.
Hey, hang on. Let me just grab my pot file here real quick. It's illegal here, man.
It is legal there. Yes, but being a U.S. citizen, obviously you don't partake, since that's still not the legal thing, and you're supposed to abide by U.S. laws even whenever you're not in the U.S. So,
in some states,
and some states,
especially if you are right across state lines from a legal state.
Florida isn't, but we have MMJ. It just comes down to getting the license is hard TM.
Right.
Yeah.
Legalize it.
I heard MMJ helps with TMJ.
It also helps with chronic pain.
Because chronic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Last up on the list
right.
is Black River Medical Center. So let's see how I titled this one. I kind of liked it. Black River Medical sounds like a good fishing hole. So.
Yeah, it does.
Boo.
Hey, you write the subject, you can read it. Attacker fish an employee, then utilize the employee's creds. That never ever happens.
Really?
And so once the attacker gained the employee's creds, they started sniffing around and got to one of the main patient databases, or it could have been the main patient database. But they were able to get names, addresses, phone numbers, and they say limited treatment information. So they didn't get all the information they could have, but they did obtain a decent little bit.
Yeah, so that one. So they probably didn't have access to. Oh crap! I think HIPAA. You need to have a bunch of stuff encrypted, like away. Like there's some stuff that you would.
Yeah.
I think the strategy is you keep some stuff clear text, and that or not clear text, like unencrypted, and then you have encrypted storage, and that's where you would put like all your social security numbers of your patients. And basically, and billing information, basically the stuff that can be used in identity theft.
PI and PII.
Yeah, anything PII.
I tell you what, I used to have to support a small medical facility, and whenever it comes to HIPAA, they change the rules so often that it is not worth separating stuff. I mean, screw it. Encrypt the entire freaking thing. Encrypt every transmission stream there is. I mean, go all out, because in 2 years you're going to have to be there anyway, and all you will do is spend all your time, trying to get up to the new regulatory level that HIPAA's made. And now it seems like 2 weeks later, oh yeah, there's a new one and a new one. So
yeah, I'm on their email list because
HIPAA's?
For the compliancy group anyway.
Okay.
Because there's a project back in the States that I kind of have to figure out if we need to be compliant in, because we might start using real patient data, or at least at one point we were thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
Or our client was thinking of doing that, and we were like, yeah, that's a lot to put on students, just saying. And I think eventually I shot on the foot, but like I see an email from them on like a new update like every week, and that's like, holy crap, what are you guys doing, man?
Yeah, because like with stuff like that, transmitting the data to you guys still has to stay within a fully encrypted state, and then once it gets to you, whatever system you put it onto would have to be fully HIPAA compliant. The kind of easier way to do it is to obfuscate all the information before it ever leaves the location. One-way obfuscation, and then send it over to you guys. And then, all the data has essentially been scrubbed, but can still be usable in, research terms or whatever else you want to do with it.
Yeah, so that was the option that I was going to go for. It would be that we would get kind of scrubbed data, and then we would still have to use the encrypted database and have like the key and everything. But the issue that we ran into was it was a web-based application, which I was like, no. It's like, I am not throwing any, like HTTPS, whatever. I am not throwing anything on internet traffic. That's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that it's not safe to use HTTPS?
No, it's just that you can. Better safe than sorry is always my thing when it comes to.
I mean, malware only goes over HTTP. Everybody knows that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing like request forgery or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I have just a beautiful site, Pirate Bay, that has tons of malware loaded all over it,
It'll see your site and run away because it says, "Hey."
My site's obviously not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be HTTPS. I mean, I would never do something like that. No.
And I would never create a certificate authority. They'll just throw out any fucking HTTPS certificate request you would fucking send. Like, say, something where you want people to say, let's encrypt.
Yeah. So that was a fun battle.
Real quick, shoot, Hackster.io or something today had an article where a guy took a Amazon dash button. And you know how Let's Encrypt, you have to renew it every 90 days, I think it is.
Yeah.
So he took an Amazon dash button. So whenever it got up to like that 87, 88 day,
he just
clicks his Amazon dash button and it automatically redoes it.
I mean, that's pretty fucking smart if it works.
Dude,
it ain't dumb if it works. I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's great, but it's a cron job, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just write a cron job. I mean, all right, cool.
Pretty much.
There's a chronic need for a cron job. I'm just saying.
And it needs
maybe while using some chronic at the same time.
Chronic.
Man.
Dr. Dre.
This is going to be a chronic joke.
Oh, God damn it.
Howie, you're going to be going in your corner soon.
No, Howie, no.
Grab me very soon, I know.
Me, no, Howie, no.
No, Howie, no.
That's the bad part. He likes it.
We lost the lady with the huge cock.
Yeah.
Aw, we lost her.
Okay, where are we at in the breach report?
Yeah,
we are complete with the breach report.
All right, who else saw this article floating around? I think I saw Alien Vault post this saying thermostats, locks, and lights, digital tools for domestic abuse. And basically, it's about home automation devices and how people can use them for domestic abuse. And quite frankly, I'm more worried about a lot of other things other than. First of all, I don't have many of these types of devices in my home. I'm a techie. I like tech. I just haven't had any particular need for a light bulb I can turn on and off via the internet. I just haven't had a use for it. I'm more worried about things like Samantha Myers, who rapes her ex-boyfriend using a machete. That kind of abuse I'd be worried about. But, the article, I can see how people can use it for various types of harassment and annoyance. But I'm wrapping my head around it being a problem I'm going to get hugely upset about. Then again, I'm a techie. I don't know much about these devices because I don't have them. But I'm assuming it's fairly easy just to set them, reset some passwords, and gain back control. But you all talk about the article if y'all have read it.
Adrian, can we go back for a second?
Yeah, Adrian needs to expound for a second.
What's up?
No, you said somebody got raped with a machete? What?
No, this lady, the lady's wrong, named Samantha Myers.
She related to Michael?
She had some problems with her ex-boyfriend, and she hid in his house with a machete. He came in, and she forced him on the bed, raped him, and then not with the machete, but I'm assuming she involved him. And apparently she peed on his bed at some point. I got a link in the show notes. That's the kind of abuse I would have too. I'm not worried about someone turning my thermostat up to a 90. That's annoying, and I'd hope I'd at least have one tech. Even if I wasn't technical myself, I'd have one techie friend to be able to reset shit.
Right.
I don't know. Did anybody else read this article?
I did, and it does come down to change your passwords, but at the same time, you got to expect the average person not to change their passwords. And for reference, I still have my ex's printer on my phone and MacBook.
Wow, nice.
Yes, I haven't spammed him yet with 1,000 pages of go eat a dick.
You are so dangerous. I love it.
But
should add some ASCII goatsy in there just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Yeah, so like don't think these things can't be used for domestic abuse. They totally can. And if you don't think, your lights randomly turning on at 3 a.m. won't wake you up, I have news.
Yeah, it sucks. But I just can't put it in the same category as other types of domestic abuse or harassment. It's annoying as hell. But also, here's the thing. I don't know about these devices because I don't have them because I don't need to have them. I don't understand why I need to have my light bulbs hooked to the internet or my thermostat hooked to the internet.
I don't have any of my devices hooked to the internet, but if someone did, wholly expect that an abuser would do that to them.
Right. I imagine they would, but it seems like, all right, this is a fucking annoyance. That's of all the things someone can do, that's some pretty piss poor shit. And I'm like, reset everything. You can rebuild.
You say this, but not everyone is like us that is wholly technical.
But doesn't everybody know somebody who's technical that can help them do it?
I would hope so.
Hey, and there is always that old thing called customer service.
So, so for context and kind of give a visual, this scene in Mr. Robot is what this reminds me of. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because then they really start messing with her here where...
Oh, crap. Is this just the last season?
They just start... season 2. So on like all of her lights, it's turning on all the music, like on and off. And at one point, she's just hanging out in her pool, and then her lights start doing this kind of thing, where it just starts doing music, and it's linked to the lights, and and eventually it gets to the point where she just up and leaves, and then they use her place as a crash pad. Yeah, they use it as their base of operations, which is actually kind of funny.
But yeah, this sort of abuse is very real and emotional, and emotional abuse is a very real thing.
Yeah,
and it's something that's never really talked about.
If I had a crazy ex, I mean, playing with my air conditioning system and my lighting and so forth, I'd be annoyed as fuck. And if I didn't know technology, I think I'd go find one of my friends who does to help me reset everything. I'm far more worried about, physical assault or letters trying to get me fired to my boss or the crazy chick hiding in my house with a machete, that kind of thing.
I agree. I do have a couple things, Evie.
What?
I think it'd be a lot more fun. You send a printer test page just at random times, prints out on his printer.
I should do that.
Totally screw with him. 3 a.m. in the morning. What in the printer's printing a test page? That's what they do.
What the fuck? There's now a test page coming out of my printer, kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it has penises all over it.
No, dick butt.
Okay.
That would be kind of too obvious. It'd be better if you made it so that you just have I don't know, eat a dick or something, but make it in a really professional format so he has to look at it and be like, what the hell?
It looks like a resume, but it just says eat a dick a bunch of times.
Or just at the very end, it just says eat a dick. It's like a full serious resume.
I'm thinking back in the day a few years back when we was fucking with universities. I think it was mostly universities, sending Nazi propaganda to all the printers.
Oh shit! I remember that. That was beautiful.
Oh wait, no. FAU, Florida Atlantic University, for the longest time, you could actually get onto their speaker system at Al Stadium. And people did.
Nice.
And we were just blaring techno all the time and death metal.
Yes.
The big issue of universities is that they got on the IP space land grab early. So there's a lot of them that have, the university I came from a few years ago, they had a Class B. So 149.160.anything. They had a shitload of fucking IP addresses they could use. They didn't have to NAT shit. So for a long time, they didn't. And you had plenty of printers out there on the public internet.
Oh, Class B public facing.
Yes, but it's better when it's speakers, and you know that.
Well, yeah.
You know you just want to blast random bullshit at a, I don't know, a stadium that seats 10,000 people? That's right next to a dorm? It was always a, 2 a.m. rave there. It was great.
Nice. And then on the back on the IoT real quick. So we have IoT door locks. That could be related to the story here. What's the doorbell ring?
Yeah, Ring.
Ring. So say it again. You're really quiet, Adrian.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, well, something in the background. So Ring, their newer software versions will do, you can see the people walk up to your door and whatnot. You can now do facial recognition and not record specific individuals. So if that were to be compromised, a third party could put their facial recognition in there and then be able to walk up to the door unannounced. And we just have IoT going in every freaking thing now. We got the refrigerators, I think I saw toasters, and it's getting really absurd.
Why would you?
Oh, grills! One of my buddies had a freaking grill that connects to his phone.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of weird grills have the Bluetooth on them for that kind of stuff.
I just looked up the Whois from my old university's IP range.
Yeah.
I had a guy who was like a mentor to me about 10 years ago. He retired like 10 years ago and still has his name in the fucking Whois registry.
Isn't Whois having issues with GDPR?
I honestly don't know.
Hey guys, IoT connected devices for sure.
Oh yeah, the Twitter page, Internet of Dongs. The Internet of Dongs.
Yes.
Well, you were grounded, but yes, the Internet of Dongs.
Yeah. And on the same subject, I would recommend the Twitter page Internet of Shit for some pretty big fails there.
And I recommend analbiometrics.com.
For all your anal biometric needs.
Did you set that up yet, Adrian?
Yeah, it's been set up for years. I bought it back in like 2012 or 13.
Well, Adrian, I wonder what this is.
This is worse than my does it need a blockchain.info. I absolutely love you for this.
Oh my god.
Also, if you don't think I don't own does it need a blockchain.info, I have news.
Hey, guess what's in Delaware? Well, wasn't until they changed the fucking name.
I didn't really get the blockchain meme, by the way. For a distributed currency where everything has to be accounted for, and you have a large number of people who can invest to say, yes, I saw this transaction, I saw this transaction, I saw this transaction. I get it for Bitcoin and so forth.
That's number one.
What is the security?
Hang on. Look at my screen.
Okay. Anal tech.
Oh, no.
That was about 40 miles north of me.
Oh, no. This is like the fucking joke from Community, isn't it?
It was an actual place. Now it's named this.
I wonder why.
Well, what wound up happening was the final straw that sort of tore the whole thing wide open was there was a truck that plowed through anal tech and released a weird smell, and at that point the headlines just ran wild, and
Man, anal tech really got rammed up their ass.
Yes. Look.
Owie.
Yes.
God fucking damn it. Like,
is this like a parody of Fatal or something? I mean, really?
Like,
this is real?
Like, okay, this is up there with a town by me wanting to build Raccoon City when I was in high school.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was owned by Scripps and there was like one bridge in and one bridge out.
Actually, I don't think anyone, maybe except Evie and maybe Owie, understand the Fatal reference. Do you guys even understand that one?
No idea.
Yeah.
The Fatal gaming system.
No idea.
It's famous for being very, very anal, to use the phrase, for rolling various characteristics about your character, including anal circumference and things like that. Yes, I'm absolutely serious. It is absolutely dead on about that. Let me find the 1D4chan page about it.
Of course.
Also, here I thought Black Desert Online had a extreme character creation.
And it's in the chat, and it's
Hang on. Ah, shit, they're at .rs now? Okay. So, we all know Desu, right?
Maybe.
Desu.
So, there's a thing that's important here. So, DESU, desu.edu.
Oh, nice.
I'm 15 miles from that.
You could go find your reality.
I don't like reality much. It sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So,
let's just hang out online.
Let's just go to Desu and just scream Desu at the top of our lungs and just Desu.
Mm.
Hey, so I have a question. Any of you guys see memes this week about underground or memes being sold in Europe?
Yeah. Okay.
What is that law? There's a law in place that they're trying to put in place where it says you have to pay someone to even link to our content.
Yeah, what is all that?
And dude, I'm beginning to get more and more sympathetic to the Brexiteer folks. I know there's a lot of people who had a big hubbub someone talking about Brexit, but there's all that. And dude, I'm beginning to get more and more sympathetic to the Brexiteer folks. Gregory, you gotta have to had a big hubbub about Brexit. Sorry, Gregory, I'm at the Brexit.
I'm gonna.
So the thing that Europe's doing about memes, or the reason that memes are being affected, is that there's this new policy that's not. I don't think it's not in place yet. It was presented that any content that is made with someone else's content is not legal. So like red pill, blue pill, you didn't get the permission from the Wachowski siblings to use that in your meme. So yeah, you're in violation of whatever like intellectual property things that go on in Europe.
Well, see, the thing is, the whole European Union thing, I only hear from various partisans online. I'm not sure what the freaking think. Although when I hear about various control structures like that, it makes me understand why there was a certain people I've listened to on YouTube who really supported Brexit.
And okay, as someone who has lived in the EU for the last 6 months or so now,
Tommy,
huh?
Go ahead.
All right, whatever.
It's okay. They call me a commie like at least 3 times an episode.
I will.
Comrade
Well,
Evie.
you are a commie.
By the name Comrade Evie, and you have a communist logo on top of an Evie. And you linked me off to viral music about, what was it? About Russia.
About Rasputin.
Rasputin, who was pre-communism. So, okay, that's not a good point. But, I mean, you understand why, right?
Yeah, but wait a second, though. The video shows Vladimir Putin breakdancing.
Yes.
But he's in theory no longer a communist.
You think?
They had like some kind of other not so good government. Well, not that communism is bad.
Good, but I've actually seen a video of him like denouncing communism in some video that I saw of his. Or at least that's what the translation said. I can't speak Russian, so I have no idea what the man actually said.
I also linked to a video of they that was called Energia, where it has them running, and it's basically Russians learning to skank via ska. Or do you not remember that?
What was this?
It's Energia by Riskaja.
The song?
Yes, the song is Energia. I will find it for you.
Okay, real quick while you're finding that, Cappy. back to the memes real quick.
Yeah.
Back to the okay. I mean, it's not just memes. There's some privacy things that are going on in this, and protection of intellectual property and blah 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 blah. Yeah, for someone living in the EU for the last 6 months, there are some weird things that I've noticed that are kind of iffy. I can't really pin them down, but it just feels kind of like, okay, yeah, it feels different than the States, obviously. But there's a lot of things that I don't really understand. Like, for instance, like where there was this, there was one of my friends, and this is about the healthcare system, and this may only be prevalent in the Netherlands, but there was something about the healthcare system where they only pay something like 3 to 5 euros or something a month for a pretty good deductible, and these are students, mind you. Like your rates will vary depending on who you talk to. And so I got the pricing from that. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad for healthcare. That's really nice. And then I started hearing like these horror stories of people not getting treated for like minor things. Like one of my friends, she had the stomach flu, she had a cold, she had, I think, like a rash of some kind, and like a bunch of other different things. And the doctors here were just like, yeah, just go home and sleep it off. They wouldn't give her anything. And then she goes back to her home country in Germany, which is right next to us. And the doctor immediately prescribes her a bunch of stuff. And it's like, what? You have like 10 different things right now. How are you alive? And I'm like, it's like, and not going to a doctor while I'm here. Okay.
Yeah. So the potential of cheap health care, but the healthcare doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and then there's some like other weird controls that are in place. There's a lot of taxing that goes on, and no one really knows where it's going, and because when you think when you think public transportation in Europe, at least in the Netherlands, there's 4 major companies, so none of the taxes are going towards that. So it's just this weird like tick in the back of my head that's like, yeah, something ain't right here. And a lot of it, yeah.
Now there in the Netherlands, do you also, like the UK, have tons of surveillance, or
yes, that is good. Thank you for reminding me of that. That is very weird to me. It is like, okay, so we have where I'm situated right now, like my apartment building. Okay, like we're on private property. We have a bunch of cameras because it's private property. Only the people that should be living there should have cameras, or should be there, and that's why we have cameras. And that's actually helped us out in a couple of situations where bikes were stolen, and we eventually got them back.
Nice.
Which is rare here. Because
everyone, I've been up for far too long. I'm going to bed.
Have a good night, dude.
Peace out.
Night, night.
Night.
And
up in an hour and a half.
Yeah. But in the central city, so like where all the shops are, where all the bars are and stuff like that, there's literally like 3 cameras. Like if you were to just spin around in a circle and just try and find as many cameras as you can, you'd probably find like 5 to 10 just in like the one spot that you're sitting, and they're not like attached to any stores. They're just attached to the general streets that you're walking around, which is very off-putting to me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Although the times that I've been down there, I wasn't as coherent as I should have been. So I really wasn't caring about the cameras. I was more caring about making it home.
Yes. One foot in front of the other.
It's in front. It might be 3 feet to the right, but it's in front.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories.
Yeah, I bet.
One of them I told on the St. Patty's Day cast, actually.
While you were trying to put your foot.
No. I haven't been drunk on the podcast. I can't. I at least can say that for myself.
Congratulations.
Me neither.
Adrian, you
know what? I know I never. Well, yeah.
Let's put it this way. I've been buzzed on the podcast. That is about as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, I haven't been drunk on the podcast. I've been feeling good before, but yeah.
Yeah, there was one time I was at this restaurant and I was just
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that time you phoned
Yes, I remember that.
all the stuff was going on in the background.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was like, oh.
I remember.
Oh man. Yeah, and it's funny. Soon as I got off that podcast, they started playing Nicki Minaj. The night is still young. I was like, oh. I said, wow. I said, what a way to like. It was like a segue into like more stuff, because it was like I got off with y'all, then they started. Then I heard in the back of the night is still young. Oh, I was like, and you know, when you hear songs like that, especially like you've been drinking, it's just like that's when that cold wind blows. It's like it's late at night, and you hear a song like that. The night is still young, or forever young, and then the wind just starts blowing out of nowhere. It's like a movie,
and that's like, whenever you realize you really need to pee.
Yes. And then when you after you finish peeing, then you hear your song again, and you be like, "Oh man, I haven't drunk enough. Let me go out there and just make it a memorable night." Mind you,
it's rain.
Already, yeah. And mind you, it's already 3 a.m. You're talking about make the night memorable. It's just like,
oh, yeah, Charles. Let me tell you,
I've been through. Yeah,
the most memorable night that I've had here was that I can remember. Is biking back after a night out with the sun coming up over the horizon at 6 a.m. with my roommate.
That's what I'm talking about.
Was that on like a 2-person bike?
No, we had.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was a fun. And we left at like 11, and it was like 11 to 6. We were there a long time.
Wow. That's crazy. Now
he maxed out both of his cards.
Wow. Oh, yeah. He said, "Put it on the tab." Wow. No, that's when the night. Yeah, that's when the night gets real dangerous.
Now, Cappy. That's all it was.
Now, I think
shot shouldn't be taken literally.
No.
You haven't. Have you visited Holland?
I'm Miami adjacent.
Well, enough said.
Yeah,
enough said. Nope. I know one thing, and probably this band is probably still mad at me to this day for messing up their set. It was my friend's birthday, and we were like drinking, and I was like, "Oh right, that section over there, free shots of tequila." I went crazy on my card, and I screamed, "That section over there, free shots of tequila," and it was like, "Ah!" And then I was just like so like insanely drunk. I was like, you know what? I could play that instrument, and I got up in the middle of the segment and started beating on the congo, and they were playing with me. And they were playing with me. It's like, oh my god! I had the drink next to me, and I'm like, doom, 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 doom. And then anytime I stopped, they would stop playing. I would drink, and they go back to hey, doom, 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 and I'm just like beating on the Congo. And then at the end of it, all I remember is that people were like clapping for me and like, hey, have another drink. And then I just remember sitting back at the bar, and then I woke up in an Uber. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I did. That's the key. That's the key. I was like, oh, but that wind was blowing. It's something about that wind, man. I tell you. Yeah. After you spend a lot of money and it's like the morning after, either the wind's blowing or it's a slow song, especially like from the 80s, like Light FM, time after time.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh my god!
Oh, I love Cindy Lauper.
I'm actually going to an 80s and 90s theme party.
When?
This weekend. Yeah,
man, you better put on your best outfit.
And dude, I look like the dude from The Big Lebowski. Me showing up is 90s enough.
No, or even better, get you like a jean jacket, like spray painted and stuff, or draw on it. Get you some Sharpies. Just draw different cartoon characters on it. Or your name in like bubble letters or whatever. No. Yeah. Oh, let's make it 80s.
Oh no.
And you need a bottle of hairspray and use the whole thing.
Yes. No. And you gotta make it green, purple, and throw a little red in there to kind of throw them off.
And make sure to have a couple feathers in there too with it.
Oh, what? The Apache feathers?
Oh yeah. Goodness.
Get you like 2 Apache feathers in the back.
Yeah.
And you know what? See if you can find like a retro Budweiser can. Like the old Budweiser can.
If you can find a Budweiser head bandana. And
my goodness.
Bandana.
Yeah, and you got to bring a whistle. Just have the whistle around your neck.
I have one of those. I actually have one of those.
You can't forget the pacifier.
My goodness. No, you can't.
A huge thing in the 90s.
Yes.
Oh, and early.
Guys. I've got something for this.
We're mixing the 80s and the 90s. So which one are we talking about?
80s. Now the 80s had the candy necklaces.
But Combat Evie and I think Combat Evie was talking about 90s.
Yeah, whistle.
Yes.
And it's a beer belt that has a whistle.
Nice.
But I wore that.
Hands down.
I wore that on King's Night and King's Day. And
wow.
Oh no.
And that's basically like 4th of July, but way more parties. And I ended up breaking them off. There's supposed to be 2, so I would have like 2 of these on my belt. It was great. It's a great time.
I'm telling you, like that should like seriously, like if anyone listening to the cast, if you're out here this summer, just treat yourself to a nice rooftop party.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere. I don't care where it is. Just go Googling. If you want to look up something, look up rooftop parties or look up any type of parties within your area and just go. If you're single and sad, go. You might meet a new friend. If you have a partner or a significant other or whatever, bring them too.
Yeah, man.
You'd be surprised. Make this an adventurous, memorable summer. It's hot outside. Put your shorts on. You don't even have to dress up. Get you a nice little cool t-shirt and some jeans and flip-flops. That's all you need.
You
That's all
act
you
like
need.
I don't go to Vanilla Ice's parties.
Oh,
This message is
lives.
not for you, young lady.
I know. He lives in South Florida and
Yeah.
go to his parties.
Like, I mean, like if you are not getting out here and enjoying this weather, I don't know what you're doing with your life. This is a public service announcement.
Going to school online and trying to make sure I graduate on time. That's what I'm doing.
Well,
I know
different,
that struggle.
but it's a struggle. But you do occasionally hit the cafe or something.
Yeah. Like
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like tomorrow. No, 2 days. 2 days. I'm going to the movies and stuff like that.
That counts. That counts. I'm talking about the do nothings of the world.
Yeah.
The ones of the world that just sit and don't go anywhere. And just like get out here and enjoy it. Dip your toe in the pool. It might feel good. Do something. Woo! Yes. Woo! Like just get out there and just all I'm saying is just get out there, enjoy life, live it up. I mean, I'm in my own little zone, I know, with the rose-colored glasses and clouds with smiley faces and everything else. But that's just me.
there you go.
Happy dolls. But, but yeah, it's get out there and enjoy, you know. Get some good papaya juice. Oh.
Okay, Cappy. I got 2 more things for you to
Yeah.
wear. You
Yeah.
got to wear some Larry Bird shorts,
Oh God,
Oh,
no,
my goodness.
the short shorts,
no.
and the
With the tall color sock, the striped socks.
striped tube socks up to the calves.
No, up to
Heck
your
yeah.
knees. Yeah, got to do it up to the knees at least.
Yeah, up to the knees.
Yeah.
But yeah, fully covering the calves, 2 stripes on top.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's
8.
got the socks got to look like Thelma's from Scooby Doo.
Heck
Like
yeah,
that
they
tall.
do. Yes. Yep.
You'd be surprised. I'm telling you, it'll be surprised. And get one of your friends and tell them to put some skates on, put some glitter on the skates with the whistle. Oh, ooh. Get some glitter. No, okay. We even do better. Forget glitter. If you want to just update it just a little bit, put some LEDs on them skates and roll around. I mean, just yeah.
Okay, you got Charles way too excited. He's grabbing a plane ticket and he's going to meet you there for next weekend.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh
Actually,
no.
It'd be an Irongeek cast special report, special breaking news.
No. The worst part is I have a Soviet themed bar next to me too.
Oh my goodness! And you know what? I'd be there and I'd have like a big boombox radio playing Madonna's La Vista Bonita.
Not Rah Rah Rasputin?
No.
Hey, we're not gonna say no to that. we get
just not
It's
yet.
not we. It's just me. give me some vodka first. I need to have vodka before I hear Rasputin.
Ooh. Or you know what? Let's just take it back even further. Whip it good. Whip it good. Do. Oh man. Oh, you know what?
Part of the podcast where we just have nostalgia.
We get weird. Or you know what? I even do you a solid. Ongo bongo. It's a dead man's party. Who's that swap? Oh my goodness. Don't Whew. Leave your body at the door.
The origin of that song is
Don't run away. It's only me. Oh my goodness. I love my decade.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I don't know. I can't say that my decade was the 90s because I was only just, I barely lived through that.
What do you call the early? What do you call like the 2000s before the 2010s? The Audis?
Yeah, what do you call it?
We're still millennials, by the way.
Millennials.
When did millennials start? Was that like in the middle of the
1987, and
85.
I'm considered a millennial for.
Now that's the question I had too the other day. Okay, well, what is okay? So Generation X. Okay, so Generation X, Y, Z, then millennials, or
no.
X is the last, and then Y and Z are millennials.
Okay, Y and Z are millennials. So okay, for example, I was born in 1980, so I'm X, Generation X. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We're the very back end of Gen
X.
Yeah.
But we do have a little sprinkle of millennial in us though. When we get a
yes, I confirm you have a lot of sprinkle of millennial in you.
Yeah, sure. I really do. I really do. I don't act like. I'm pretty sure I don't act like the average 38-year-old.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
And multiple people have told me when they find out I'm 31, they're just like, "Wait, fucking what?"
Yeah, let them know. Tell them I'm not the 20-somethings out here.
I used to look way younger than I actually am, but then I started drinking heavy, and my gray beard has come out and got a little pudgy. That definitely made me get my age back.
Now I do have some great chips. Like it's like a great. I thought it was Lent or something, but it's really a great chip. But oh well, I'll take it and stride, my man. I will take it. Yeah, I did think it was Lent. I did think it was Lent because one day I woke up. I said, "Hold on, what's going on here?" I said, "Oh, I thot it was Lent." I said, "Why does Lent ain't coming out?" And then I thought it was the lotion. When you put lotion in your beard, and then it kind of looks white, ashy-ish. I'm like, what's going on here? And I said, "Oh, it's a gray hair." I can't even blame that on my daughter because that's been there.
That's awesome.
But you just take this stuff in stride.
Heck yeah.
I
started going gray in the beard when I was 35.
Wow. I have been finding gray hairs in my hair since I was like 17.
16.
Wow.
16? So what do you think causes? I'm just curious. I always wondered that. What do you think really causes a gray hair?
I think a lot of it's genetics. Because my grandma, I don't know if she had a whole lot of stress in her life, but she was straight up white by 50. So
okay,
probably straight up white by the time I'm 52.
Yeah. But you know something?
That's about where I'm at. Like my mom was straight up white by the time she was 50. I also refused to dye my hair.
No, I'm not doing all that. That's just out of control.
No, that's just extra.
Yeah, it is. Like, sorry, I got my Cuphead blanket on me. A little chilly in here.
But yeah, so that's just extra, and I'm not doing it.
No, No, go ahead. No, what were you about to say?
You've never dyed your hair before?
I have, just not natural colors.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like now that's different. Like it's a difference between dyeing your hair because you want to, as opposed to like I see I know some guys like they're dyeing their hair, they're dyeing their beard hair because they don't want the gray to be there. I'm like, embrace that. Embrace it. It's there.
I've also there was a Just for Men recall a while back and a class action lawsuit about I think it was specifically their beard dye was causing chemical burns on men's faces.
See what happens, and then now you got a permanent beard.
And go with it, and
yeah.
So first of all, I found this hilarious when I went to Converge Detroit and B-Sides Detroit. A lot of the people there know me. They've known me for 10 plus years with my sect and all other things. And they're all like, "So Nightshade, you're like in your early 30s, right?" And I'm like, "Nope, a lot older than that." But I'm glad I look like I'm in my early 30s, even with all the beard.
As I recall, you're slightly younger than me, if I recall correctly.
I think we're about the same age, Adrian.
Because here's the thing. Trust me, I lost my hairline. I don't even care. I embrace it. I think bald is beautiful. That's just me.
Well, especially on you, Charles. You just rock.
Oh, thank you. I accept it with grace and dignity, and I
one
love
of the
it.
advantages of black privilege is the black man can
Being
rock out
bald.
the shaved head. The black man can rock out the shaved head better than most white people can. I mean, there's Patrick Stewart and there's Telly Savalas. But other than that, what white man can you think of that really rock out the shaved head?
Other than that, we all went to like
Nazis.
Jason Statham.
Bro, I'm telling you guys,
Jason Statham.
Yes,
it's a beautiful thing because in the morning when I wake up, I wash my scalp. make sure it feels great. Then I put that
massage up there.
The massage, and then I put the vitamin E to protect myself from the sun. Oh, I am golden. Trust me, that ain't sweat. That's vitamin E.
Also, Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce.
Okay, maybe I'm full of shit, but
No, you're not, Adrian. There's like
10 white guys out there, but boatload of black guys who are bald-headed, and bald-headed black guys look way better than bald-headed white guys. I mean, my wife saw me with like really, really short hair, and she's like, "Your head's ugly." I mean, just straight up.
But you know what?
Keep your hair longer.
But you know what? That's a beautiful comeback. But like, hey, you married me.
Yeah, I know. With hair.
With hair.
Married to this ugly ass head.
Not how beautiful his bald head is.
But you love me for me.
That's
for
right.
making this change. I can embrace it. Now I'm hurt.
It's always really funny to show people pictures of me from like my senior year of high school, which was only 3 years ago.
All right.
Yeah, he just had them taken.
Yeah,
they're gonna be awesome.
You, but yeah.
Yeah, no. And they always look at me and they're like, "Wait, what? That's you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. I had short hair. I didn't have a beard." And it's just like, holy crap. It's like they're like, "Wow, you changed."
But you know what's crazy?
Oh no! People finding pictures of me from high school. I used to cosplay.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's pictures of it on the internet. I'm not going to give my old cosplayer name. But yeah, I used to cosplay, and it's like the whole Chubinho, oh please, no one find this sort of thing.
Oh, they will.
Oh, and that was a very weeb statement when I said it's the very Chubinho thing.
But it's just funny just to see how you change. Because I kid you not, the beard just showed up out of nowhere one day. One day I just started scratching my face, and I was like, "Oh, why am I itchy?" And then boom, here we go.
So what? How old were you when your beard was coming in, Charles?
I was
30.
No, yeah, seriously, 27.
Oh wow.
27. I don't know. I always had like the little boyish face, so it just kind of
more like 25. But then again, my family's kind of a hairy bunch, so I mean, it's
I remember, like I think by my freshman or sophomore year in high school, I was having to shave like not every day, but every 3 days or every other day, kind of thing.
But you know what? You were probably the girl magnet. You know why?
I was the major nerd in high school, and that was not cool in the 80s and early 90s. And
agree.
I did have a girlfriend, but where I came into my own was my undergrad years. And in fact, one of my female friends was like, "Mark, here's what you need to do. You need to ditch the glasses and get contacts, and you should grow a goatee."
See, you know what? Always listening to the female advice.
Yeah, I
get
did that,
you right.
and all of a sudden,
no, back up. Don't always listen to female advice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Those times like women who tell you, "Oh, just wait, the right girl will come along. Bullshit. That works. that works for women because women are not normally the aggressors. Guys generally aggressors. It also probably works for gay men because eventually some other gay man is going to be the aggressor and approach you. But for straight men, that rarely works out because whatever women's lib has done for women, it has not really made them be the approacher. Because I think women, as soft as some men's egos are, a woman getting rejected for a date is even a bigger blow.
And this is something that's changed in the last 20 years or so, to be honest.
Because I don't really care when I'm rejected.
I remember when I was an undergrad, I was asked out on dates by women. It was kind of cool. It didn't stop me from asking out women on dates or anything like that. But back then, women would be the one approaching men.
Yeah.
Or women, as the case may be, whatever. So in your great theory here, Adrian, how does that work for lesbians?
For lesbians, I'm assuming one would approach, or I don't understand enough about lesbian rights.
Right, I don't know about the culture, but
I've only had one friend I interacted with for a whole lot that was lesbian, and she didn't seem to have a whole lot of relationships as far as I can tell. And I've also heard of something called lesbian bed death, where
what's that?
Lesbians jump into a relationship with each other, but then the sex stops pretty quick.
That's not true. And
what is that? I mean, I don't know.
You have also never asked me about it.
Okay, sorry. This is just a meme I've heard from other people about lesbians getting in a relationship, and then all of a sudden the spark, they still cohabitate, they still are together, but it quickly becomes like an old married couple who never has sex.
You mean that's happened more often to me than not in my straight relationships than my homosexual ones. Just gonna say that now.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Like, for me, like you said, you were a nerd. I'm just going back to what you said. You're a nerd. You were a nerd in high school. The thing is with me, I didn't have a lot of girlfriends. I had a lot of friends. Like, and the thing was, I was cool to party with, not sleep with.
Dude, I am in the exact same boat right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it was. Oh, Charles, let's go hang out. Woo, we had a great time. All right, buddy, friend. All right, later. Just like,
well, clearly you worked your way out of that though, because you're married now and you have
oh yeah.
Right?
But that trust me, that was a long struggle process. But the cool part is I got a career out of it. I got good with computers. So
definitely.
What are you saying here, Charles? You're saying you would go out on a date as friends with girls, and then they would blow you off at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Your sexual frustration was poured into your hacking endeavors. Is that what we're talking about here?
You know what? On camera, yes. So the world will know, yes, this is what happened. And that's what made me better coder. That's why I learned a lot of good stuff.
Dude, I will go on record as well to say that is exactly what I did. I did that exact same. I do that exact same thing.
And for whoever's out there, judge me. That's right. But I'm married with a daughter. So I'm making up for lost time.
Thank you. You need to have another child so you can say married with children.
I mean, you treat this like this an order of pancakes.
I need another child.
Child.
20 years from now.
Can I get some bacon on top of my pancakes, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Blueberries.
Oh, yes.
Well, as long as we're talking breakfast food here, I have a powerful hankering for chicken and waffles.
Yum.
I'm trying to do the lower carb things. Like, if I have alcohol, I'm trying not to have the meat anymore because there's too much sugar. I'm trying to go with if I have pasta, it's the vegetable pasta, which doesn't have nearly as much carbs in it. I'm trying to see what I can do to stay happy, but I got to lose some weight.
You should start working out, Adrian, again.
I do work out. That's the thing. Working out's not. It's about calorie deficit, Greg.
That's the
primary.
key. But you know something. You know something. What helps sometimes is just like me, like some snacks, like snack wise. Instead of getting like the chips or the wings or whatever, I don't know what snack on. Like I'll just bite a raw carrot, and I'll eat it enough to where it's like, all right, I'm cool for snacks for a second. But then I can't do the celery. The celery just makes me But or an apple or just something that just kind of.
And see, the wings may actually be bad.
Healthy alternative.
As long as it's not breaded. Go ahead, Gregory.
What's that?
I said, yeah, it's good to eat an apple or a carrot instead of like some other snack. It's like a good alternative.
Well, it's better than a Snickers bar. But
a lot better. But it's tough. You gotta, like I said, it's a little bit, and then plus, people don't realize when you're trying to lose weight, but then you got the pressures of everyday life too. That kind of adds on to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's there's the pressures of everyday life. One thing you can do is get used to spaghetti squash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spaghetti squash. I'm not kidding.
No.
Oh, like using it as a pasta substitute?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay.
It's
hope
good.
People like that. Okay, I'm glad that you like it, but my own personal preference, I despise it. But I'll shut up about it. And
shout out to Kenya. Shout out to Kenya Watson. That's correct. More good fats, less sugar. Man, that sugar is something else. You know what? We gonna look at it this way. That sugar's the devil. But it tastes so good.
Yeah, I have some kind of pasta that's made from vegetables, but I don't know what all the exact ingredients are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad at all. It tastes pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You can also make your own by just spiraling a zucchini on a.
And it's not bad. Sorry, loop back.
Like I like squash as well too.
Yeah, you can also make your own. By the way.
You're saying like take like the apple peeler and spiral the zucchini on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have this. Excuse me. I have this one thing. I have to see what the name of it is, where it's similar to an apple peeler, but it's got multiple, horizontal slicers on it. So you can take your cucumbers or zucchini or squash, whatever you want, put it on there, and it rotates it around, and it cuts the entire thing out. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
I know one thing.
I'm having the weird urge to take like a large zucchini and place it in a lathe. And
take a nice chisel down the.
Yeah, exactly.
Line. Yeah, I like that.
We can make lasagna. We can make what is it? Cannellini, not cannoli. Those are the pots.
But yeah.
Cannoli.
A vegetable cannoli.
Yeah.
I do know one thing. Kenya Watson about to make me drop these headphones and go get me some Reese's. Like, no, don't mention Reese's peanut butter cups. Those are my kill chain too. Oh.
No, Reese's Pieces. Now those are the biggie. Those are what I love.
Especially when they frozen.
Oh God, and frozen Snickers.
When they're frozen.
I don't even like Snickers.
I couldn't bite for a frozen Snicker. Have you had a deep fried Snicker before?
Yes, yeah. I'm Southern.
That was stupid good.
It was?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna check that out.
I will say though,
to a fair.
The sugar thing, cutting out sugar really does help. I had an unintentional cut of sugar when I came to Europe because in the U.S. we put sugar in literally everything.
Yeah.
And corn syrup essentially.
Oh my God.
Has a ton of syrup in it as well, and we put that in everything.
Yeah.
Dude, I just went to the circus the other day and got me one of those Italian ices with all that syrup.
Yeah. And in Europe they don't put like preservatives or sugars in a lot of their stuff because a lot of that is banned by the government here.
Dang,
at least.
I need to move to Europe.
I know, right?
So
That's
So when
how we
first
like
got-
cook and eat, shop and eat.
So when I first got here, I'm pretty sure I lost like 5 or 10 pounds.
Right.
See, 5 or 10 pounds is nothing to me, man. I can lose 5 pounds a day.
Well,
Sweat it out.
No shit, the sweat, yeah. In water weight, I can easily lose 5 pounds.
Yeah.
You can sweat it out, sweat it out, sweat it out. You can just do it by just like dancing and just.
Adrian, I believe in you.
Just for someone who's my size, where I'm kind of like on the edge of underweight to ideal weight.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Oh shit! You're taller than me.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty tall.
I know.
And my family is even taller than me, so I'm gonna be the small one.
You're the small one at 6'4"? Dang.
Okay, like small in terms of my brothers, but yeah, I have a brother who is 6'6", and then I have and he's a couple years younger than me, and then I have another one that's about 5 years younger than me, and he right now is 6'2", and is about 230 pounds, and he's also a black belt in karate, and he has on many occasions when I've come home flipped me on my ass.
just because he can.
How about
Yeah.
3 or 6'2", depending. I got measured in both heights, depending on who's measuring it. And my lowest, I've been 200 pounds when I was like 34. I'm currently at like 280. So shit.
Oof.
I'm 6'4". Have been holding steady at 260 for years.
Nice.
I could be lighter.
Wow. I think we all could be lighter.
I went without drinking for 1 month, and I got down to like 259.
So just not drinking, you lost 20 pounds?
Damn near it, yes.
Wow.
I'm also 5'4" and 140, but like with my build, that actually isn't overweight.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't sound bad.
No.
It's like it's broad shoulders, broad hips, and
That's actually awesome.
yeah, I am like legitimately curvy. I look awesome in garb, by the way.
Look here, and for all the women out there, if you're curvy, that is not a bad thing in the man's book.
Yeah,
that is a great thing.
Yeah, be proud.
Great. I'm sorry, I know that sounded crazy there, but I was.
What was also funny is you're like looking off to the side, so
Yeah.
you're just like, it's
You
like
should look at the camera when you're trying to convince the ladies.
Yeah, like, what are you looking at?
I don't have that problem. I'm just a humble supernova remnant over here.
What is this guy saying?
I can never look Charles in the eyes again.
I think wifey just walked in and is like, there is nothing wrong with this conversation.
Look here, like.
Guys. Anyway, I will be right back.
Cool. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I had to say that because like in my daily travels, and I'll overhear other people's conversations, and I'll overhear some ladies. Oh my God, I'm fat. I'm like, I don't think you're fat. Just yeah. And like, oh my God, it's fat. And it'd be, oh, my hips are getting too big. So guys like that.
No, I like curvy girls. Anyway, back.
Welcome. Yes.
Thanks for that. I've seen. I've watched some videos from people who are like MGTOWs, going their own way, and the ratings of some women. I'm like, you're saying this woman has hit the wall and is hideous, but she still looks pretty damn good to me. But then I also see some fat acceptance women who are claiming that everything is a Western European beauty standard, and that's the only reason you don't find them attractive. And no, that's bullshit too.
Exactly. All I'm saying is this.
I would also put it this way: it's also bullshit that the fashion industry, the high fashion industry, all like magazines and haute couture and all like that. It seems like they've been pushing a look for decades where the models are basically emaciated.
Yeah, but as someone once pointed out, the people who decide on the whole fashion thing, aren't straight men. It's,
correct.
The fashion industry is, my understanding, mostly ran by women and gay men.
Oh, that's my understanding as well.
I'm
from what I've seen.
So I'm
for what I've seen, yeah. I think you're right, Adrian, on that one.
Dude, we are starting to see a lot of different things now. What is it, the Miss USA pageant? One of these pageants is no longer going to be doing the swimsuit.
Miss USA,
yeah, what is
Miss
that?
USA.
Miss USA.
Because they want to go less on, and this was by former pageant winners. Like, they're the ones who are now running it. And they wanted it to be less about the totality of the female body and get more into the intellectual plus, the woman's shape.
Oh my God. Okay.
So,
go down.
But they're trying to get it where it's not just straight anemic women, being on stage the whole time.
But what they fail to realize, like, hey, every woman has something that's beautiful about her.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. They may have not portrayed it in the best light, or done it the best way to appeal to everybody, but I think that's what they're trying to do.
Right, and the thing is, it could be from it only have to be anything like physical. It could be their attitude. It could be their attitude. It could be the way they look at you. It could be the way they walk. I mean, it's certain things.
Yeah,
you'd be like, oh my God, really? Oh.
And two,
I
think it was
I think Gregory wants to speak because I think his microphone is like really low. I see him start to speak and then it looks like it goes away.
Hey, Gregory.
I should get my cord then to plug my microphone in.
Yeah, yours is a little bit more muffled.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 1 second.
Cool.
Okay. But yeah, just with the. Yeah, like, because I'll see people that, when they say, oh, I'm a little too curvy, I'm getting chubby in the butt, or, I'm like, And it's the problem, because now, what's happening now, I think women are forgetting how beautiful they really are, and now they're getting these butt injections, they're getting all this stuff done to them, and it's just going terribly, terribly wrong.
Yeah, be who you are.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I saw a JCPenney commercial recently. And one of the things that stuck out to me was I didn't see one like model-looking woman on it. It looked like everyday women.
Right, and that's beautiful.
Hey, they're probably going to start appealing to everyday women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Perfect example. I was watching this interview. It probably was an old interview. The comedian Whitney Cummings.
Yeah.
It looked like she had work done to her face, and I'm just like, what happened? Like. She literally looks like the cokehead from Scarface, the woman that was the woman, with the short little nose. I'm like, what are you doing? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
She's like Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did you do? Like,
look up Courtney Cox sometime.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
Yeah. I mean, she used to be really and she's still attractive, but she was really pretty. And she was natural.
Mm-hmm. And same thing, well, for little Kim. I don't know what little Kim looks like. This little Kim right here. Hey, little Kim. Like, that's what she looking like now.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? It's just like you wanted to say, you know what? Throw the person away.
Yeah. and there's guys getting calf injections or calf implants.
Yeah, they're walking around looking like Popeye.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
One leg bigger than the other. All right, keep doing it.
Nicki Minaj implant. There's also something called, I'm trying to think what it's called. There's an oil muscle injection that people get. I don't know if you've seen these guys before, but they get all jacked up looking, but they don't look symmetrical. They don't look like it. It obviously doesn't look like natural. It doesn't actually add any strength. It's just purely cosmetic, but it's fucked up looking. Like,
oh my God!
Wow. No.
And when it's done wrong, what ends up happening is, well, look at this. How the hell is that? He looks like he has tits.
Yeah, he needs to wear a bra.
Yeah,
it goes wrong. It causes all sorts of
imbalances.
I've seen things where people's arms are basically deflated because of it, because it's not real muscle mass. It's like some kind of oil they inject.
Wow.
It's even called, but it's
look like
it's
look like he did. Yeah.
I think the women in Europe are like they have like a different body image or like at least a different look. Like I think they're like thinner and stuff like that. I don't know if you could comment on that, Caprico, if you like noticed.
I've noticed
hairy armpits.
A little bit. What? Well, if I'm being completely honest, no comment. But yeah,
like my cousin is from Europe and she's like really skinny. Like that's I guess she does look emaciated. I guess we were talking about that, but
yeah, and a lot of that comes down to their diet is very different from us in the States. So they're able to keep the thinner physique a lot easier.
While still being healthy, though.
While still being healthy, yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, that looks like. No. No, but yeah, like women in Europe,
Now, is it true?
Like, it's like
there are still some heavier set women, but they're not like they're not like what's the term I'm looking for? This is a really hard conversation to have at 3 in the morning.
No, it's not. You say it.
No, I just lost my train of thought. Shit.
It's like Europe. Something like that. I don't know.
It's not like you see someone. It's not like you see a roly-poly in the U.S. kind of fat. They're like they're just a little chunky.
It's called thick.
Yeah, they're thick. They're thick, or they've just got a little bit of chub. That's it.
Feminine fat. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's not like you see like someone that if they might fall off of their little like scooter that a nuclear explosion might happen or an earthquake.
That was almost delicate.
Yeah, no, I.
All right, guys, welcome to Louis Marcos. I made it.
Sorry,
what the hell?
I'm looking
up. That dude's arm looks like a baby's arm. Just kept having the same amount of fat.
It looks like a shriveled up carrot.
Oh, why? Why do people do this? I'm skinny as hell and I don't do this shit.
Aww. One of my friends joined the cast and he said if I'm ever back in the 757, hit him up. Aww. I will. 757 is Virginia Beach area.
Oh. Where it snows like once every 10 years.
Yeah. I had some fun times in the 75. I had some fun times in the Virginia Beach area. It's just
whoa, safe search is not on.
No, it's not.
I didn't see no boobs of a JJ or anything, so.
Well, that's cool.
No, it's dude butt.
Dude's ass. It's fine. Dude's just taking a piss in the corner, apparently.
I think I'll stop camera. Yeah, stop.
You can look at what was that site that we were talking about before last week?
Fed Life.
Yeah. We found Adrian's.
Oh man!
See, those things I'll look at not because I actually find them arousing, just because I find them interesting. Like, wow, that's some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then it leads to arousal, and then it leads to hey guys, we injected.
But the synthol thing is kind of fucked up, especially when someone has to drain shit. Like I'm looking at this picture of someone getting his arm cut open right now.
Nope. Whole lot of nope.
No draining assists.
I'm presumably draining something based on synthol.
Wait, we're just talking about. Are we talking about draining an abscess from a cyst, or
no, like like muscle, or sorry, like muscle implant.
Synthol.
So when we're talking about draining the oil that they previously injected, is that it?
Yes.
Oh,
Correct.
God. Pass. Hard pass.
It's all nasty. That's just, I've seen some other pictures. I can't find them right now. That people with like totally deflated arms because of this shit, and I don't get it because even when they use it, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Ronnie Coleman. It looks like someone blew them up and made them look like when they put it in their chest, especially. They look like they have women boobs. They don't look like they have X. They look like they have women boobs.
Looks like they have implants.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Israel, do you know anybody that did something like that? Because I think you said you were into like fitness stuff previously.
No, everybody that I knew was steroids. I didn't know anybody who was this oil crap. We all used to actually lift real weights.
The night is still young.
not for Cappy. I'm gonna be getting off the cast here. It's about 3 a.m. here.
So it's still early.
We hit the 2-hour mark, so we're good. Especially since we only had like 3 items in the show notes since the breach report, which was the last long breach report. So thanks for setting that up, Israel.
Yes.
You did the breach report, right?
You know what? You know what? We should add that to a weekly breach report.
That was the plan, wasn't it?
That's what we've been doing.
No. I'm just making sure. You know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just. I think that's awesome. Yeah, weekly breach report. Add some background to it. Breach report. Something like that.
Yeah. We could all wear
Enter
sunglasses.
the breach.
Read it in really.
Everybody on the cast now has ability at the show notes, right?
Like HN.
Yeah.
I think so.
Everybody can everybody add some show notes?
I'll request permission. I think I don't have it yet. I need to.
You don't have it yet? Wait, if you request permission and I didn't grant it, send the request again because I may have missed it.
Okie doke.
Like send it tonight and I can go ahead and add you on the list, Gregory.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because there's no mead tonight, so.
Yeah. Well, there's no mead, but there has been some bourbon.
Oh, nice.
What was the tasting flavor of tonight?
Evan Williams. So it's not exactly high end by any means.
Oh, okay.
Close enough, though.
All right, folks. I'm gonna stop the broadcast and I'll let people talk for a little bit afterwards, and then eventually my ass is going to sleep. So, everybody, thank you for coming to Irongeek Cast number 75, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, next Wednesday.
Peace out.
Peace.